True Heel Tribe. What's up, guys? We're back with another episode of Ness-XT. I am your host, True Heel Ness. We're one day removed from Thanksgiving, so I hope everyone enjoyed their holiday. You know, you got enough to eat. You enjoyed being around your family. For those that got to see their family and interact with their family, you know, I just hope everything went well. Also want to give a happy True Heel holiday to all my other hosts and co-hosts of any segments on True Heel Heat YouTube channel. Hope you guys all enjoyed your holiday. And with that being said, we're going to get right into it, man. This week's episode of NXT, it was alright. We just had TakeOver, so I really wasn't expecting a over-the-top show because there's no need for it. You just had an over-the-top weekend with two back-to-back shows where NXT just shine bright. So, you know, it's okay that this week's episode was, in my opinion, it was just alright. So, now that I'm getting a little bit more comfortable doing this, now you guys are going to get a little bit more out of me. So with that being said, that opening segment was fucking corny. I'm sorry. I get it that, you know, NXT went out there, Survivor Series, and they did their thing. But like the whole roster needing to come out, and that just Josiah Williams kid fucking rapping and shit. First of all, if I saw right, and I know I saw right, this nigga was reading the raps off his phone while performing. First of all, that's a fucking no-no. Like, if you guys are gonna do this, you gotta do this shit right. Don't have this nigga reading the raps off the phone. You're supposed to remember your shit. Remember your bars, son. Remember your bars. But anyway, it just overall, that just seemed like really fucking cheesy. You know, the whole roster's coming out. You know, half these people don't even fucking like each other. You know, and they're just all out here as one. Like, yeah, I get it, but it wasn't necessary whatsoever. So I loved when Adam Cole came out and started talking his shit. You know, letting people know, like, half of you guys weren't even at TakeOver, and more than half of you guys weren't at Survivor Series. So what the fuck are you out here celebrating for? You guys didn't get showcased at TakeOver. You guys didn't get these fucking wins on the main roster stage. Like, and that's coming from the guy that went out there and pretty much had the match of the night at Survivor Series and killed himself 2 nights in a row. You know, so he could talk his shit. He's the NXT champion. You know, he backing it up. He's the champ right now. So what are they gonna say to him? Not a damn thing. Well, one person could. Tommaso Ciampa started talking his shit, you know, letting them Adam Cole Undisputed Era know that, like, look, these days of Undisputed Era running shit is coming to an end, you know. I want Goldie back. We're going to get the NXT Tag Champs knocked off. Then that was the opening match. And then, you know, Roderick Strong, he got to lose that North American title, man. Like, pretty much just letting Undisputed Era know that, you know, their days as champions and as being the prominent part of NXT at the moment are coming to an end. But all that changed when Finn Balor came out, you know, started talking his shit. Another man that went out there and showed this weekend why you shouldn't fuck with the Prince. He got a victory over Matt Riddle at TakeOver this past Saturday, and he let Tommaso Ciampa know, like, look, you talking all this shit, talking about becoming NXT champ again. Like, to do that, you got to go through me. Talking big shit to big shit talkers. So, you know, everybody's just throwing the egos around and everything. It was aside from the rapping and shit, like, at least this part of the opening segment I liked and I could fuck with, because we got 3 different guys that are, you know, talking their shit, but they're also backing it up. So, you know, at least that part of the opening segment was worth a damn. So, getting to this opening tag match, it was Undisputed Era versus Keith Lee and Lee Dijakovic. At the beginning of the match, Keith Lee hit a military press on Bobby Fish, and he was injured. Wishing Bobby Fish a speedy recovery. I think he blew out his knee. Yeah, it was a hard hit. He had hit the ground hard. It was a military press from the middle of the ring to the outside, and it looked like it hurt. It looked pretty painful. So filling in for Bobby Fish, it was Roderick Strong. Me personally, I love Red Dragon. I love Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly tag teaming together, but I'd be a liar if I said I didn't like Roderick Strong and Kyle O'Reilly together. I feel as though their styles are somewhat different, but they mesh together a little bit better. Roddy is wrestling and striking. Kyle is striking and like more so submissions. So when they put those two together, Bobby and Kyle are a little bit more similar. So when I see that the two styles that are different between Kyle and Roddy, when they're together, I can appreciate that more because it's the opposites attract type of thing, you know. But overall, this match was good. It was a great opener. I feel as though that Dijakovic got to shine the most in this match. He showed his like power game for most of the match. Actually, he was getting beat up on. Roddy and Kyle, they just cut the ring in half. Again, that great tag team prowess being shown from Undisputed Era, letting, you know, all of WWE see why they are the standard bearer as far as tag team, actual in-ring skill as far as tag team. Not, you know, days, gimmicks, days of champion, gimmicks, none of that. When it comes to the in-ring ability, Undisputed Era, as far as tag teams, Undisputed Era is leading the charge with that. That's just my opinion. So again, Dijakovic looked great in that match. He had a few spots where he hit a choke bomb and a one-arm power bomb on both members of Undisputed Era. There was another spot where he does a springboard tope con hilo plancha. First of all, this nigga is 7 foot. He's tall as shit. So to see him do this, and it was clean too, you know, it didn't look too clunky or like awkward to see him do it. It was pretty dope to actually see him do it. Like I said, he's 6'7", dude's tall as shit. So to see him do this move that smaller guys do on a regular, you know, that was pretty fucking dope. There was also Keith Lee. He didn't do too much in this match, which he didn't need to. Again, he had a big weekend just passed with War Games, and then being the sole survivor, quote unquote, far as the last person from Team NXT. You know, he pins Seth Rollins. He goes toe-to-toe with Roman Reigns. They're grooming him to be something major down the line. I'm here for it. I'm a big fan of Keith Lee, another big guy that moves like he's not his size, has everything that you need, the look, charismatic, crowds behind him. Now the main roster fan base is knowing who he is, and now they can appreciate all the work that he's going to be putting in if they're not familiar with it as already, and for whatever that the company has for him down the line. I hope they don't bring him to the main roster anytime soon. He still has a lot of work to be done. In NXT. You know, he's definitely going to be an NXT champ sooner than later. Who knows? We'll see. But overall, the match was great. Again, these guys really didn't do too much, and again, they didn't need to. They just did a whole fucking lot this past weekend. So kudos to these guys on a great opening match. The next match on the card was Shane Thorne versus Mansoor. I'm not really too familiar with Mansoor. I've never seen any of the Saudi shows. I just know that he's also known as the Saudi Arabian Undertaker because he's undefeated at the Saudi shows, aka Sweet Saudi Money Shows. A phrase coined by none other than our own SP3. So again, this was a good match. A good filler match. Again, Shane Thorne, he's a fucking job. He's just jobbing. But he had a couple spots in this match where Mansoor was going for a tope suicida, and he catches him and counters with a backdrop, belly to backdrop. I wasn't expecting it when it happened, so that's why I kind of was like, oh shit, that looks crazy. There was another back body drop spot during the match that I liked as well. But overall, Mansoor got the win with a springboard neck breaker, kind of like a springboard reverse ace cutter, or ace crusher, I'm sorry. Again, I'm not really familiar with this guy's skill. He just kind of, please don't take this the wrong way, kind of reminds me of a taller version of Mustafa Ali. There, I said it. I'm sorry. I didn't mean for that to sound away, and if you take it away, oh well. Don't know what to tell you. But overall, again, I'm not really familiar with his background history of like how long he's been wrestling, but I like what I saw from him, so I'll be on the lookout for more from Mansoor. Maybe I'll go back. I heard that match at one of the sweet Saudi money shows that he had with Cesaro was really good, so I might take out the time to actually watch that. I'm a huge fan of Cesaro, so I'll be sure to check out that match. The next match on the card was Candice LaRae versus Dakota Kai. Candice had a promo in the night earlier about how, you know, the biggest news from the NXT TakeOver War Games for the women is that Dakota Kai turned on them. Not that herself and Rhea Ripley got the win over Team Baszler with the odds stacked against them. Is that, like, you know, how's everybody feeling about Dakota Kai turning on them? And she seemed like she had an issue with that, which I don't fault her for that, because there was something more important that transpired that night, but everybody's just looking at the negativity for the most part and not the positive that came out of that situation. So overall, this match was like blah to me. It seemed too clunky. I don't know how these ladies' chemistry really is. I really wasn't feeling it. Even at one point, it just seemed like Candice LaRae botched an apron back body drop. Like, I don't know what the fuck was going on in the match. The only thing I really did like about the, not even the match itself, I just like that Dakota Kai's heel turn was, you know, set in motion immediately. As far as, let's compare the main roster, when there's a heel turn on the main roster, they're still coming out to their face music, you know. They're heel, we know they're heel, but the whole essence of the new gimmick and the person being a changed individual isn't put into motion. This was put right into motion. She comes out with new music, a new attitude. She even comes out with a fucking knee brace that she used to beat up on Tegan Knox. Like, subtle shit like that was like, I like those little tidbits that they add in, because it just adds to the storylines, add to the dimensions and the elements of the characters, and that's why NXT is the standard bearer of wrestling in WWE. You know, SmackDown Raw gets the views, NXT is just an overall better project, a better product, you know. But again, there was another spot that I liked from Dakota Kai. She hits a move called the chiropractor, you know, basically like a code red sunset flip powerbomb type of move, but she hits them with the double knees on the back. I really like that move. The match, personally, again, just my view, when there's a heel turn or a face turn, more so for the heel turns, I don't think that the heels should be losing matches for quite a little bit of time. You know, you got to build up that momentum for the heel turn. But if they do lose, it should be by DQ. And that's exactly what happened in this match. Dakota Kai attacks Candice LaRae with, again, that knee brace that she ripped off of Tegan Knox. And, you know, Candice LaRae gets the win for via disqualification. Out comes Rhea Ripley to make the save, chasing off Dakota Kai. You know, there's going to definitely be something down the line between those two women with the animosity that was before TakeOver War Games, with Dakota Kai not being able to be on the team, and then, you know, what she did, because we all know more than likely it was her, that she attacks Mia Yim and turns on Team Ripley. You know, it's just a lot of stuff that Rhea Ripley can take personal. I'm sure she is going to take personal as far as what Dakota Kai has done to not only her, but people that Rhea keeps close to her. You know, that she keeps as friends. So overall, the match itself was like meh, but I like the stuff that happened after the match. There was my personal match of the night. Akira Tozawa versus NXT Cruiserweight Champion Lio Rush. For the most part of this match, these guys were evenly matched. There was a bunch of strikes being countered, submissions, holds being countered, just great fast-paced action. And again, I'm a huge fan of Lucha Libre and like the strong style, striking style of professional wrestling, like the MMA type of aspect of it. So this match had a whole lot of that. A couple spots that I loved, literally loved from Akira Tozawa. There was one spot where he hit a senton splash onto Lio Rush as he's laid across the apron. There was another spot where he hits Lio Rush with a snap German, follows it up with a deadlift German. I'm a huge fan of deadlift Germans. If you didn't see or hear it from the last episode of Ness-XT, I love the deadlift German. One of my favorite moves. Not the regular, you know, I'm going to suplex you 16 times because I can't do shit else suplex. I'm a huge fan of the great deadlift German. I love those German suplexes. But also, the fucking spot of the night, fucking craziest moment of this match, the release German suplex from the apron that Akira Tozawa hit Lio Rush with. Oh my goodness. If Lio Rush didn't have the wherewithal to flip out of this spot, you know, instead of just taking the neck bump, he could have been laid up with fucking Johnny Gargano somewhere where his shit split the fuck open, you know. That was a crazy ass spot from this match. Like seriously, a seriously crazy spot. Ultimately, Lio Rush got the win, hitting 2 final hours simultaneously, back-to-back final hours onto Akira Tozawa to pick up the win. Again, this match was fast-paced. It was slightly over the top, somewhat of a rematch. These guys had a triple threat match for the NXT Cruiserweight title on the pre-show of Survivor Series with these two. With Kalisto, he wasn't in this match, so it was kind of like a rematch. But again, it was a great match, a great show for a great match for a weekly showing of NXT, and this is building up more for Lio Rush going into or continuing his feud with Angel Garza. You know, so we're going to see where that goes. I hope that feud produces even more better matches than they already have. So that was my favorite match of the night. I really appreciated this match. Alright, the next match on the card was a fucking dud. There was really no reason for this shit, but let's get into it anyway. Xia Li versus Vanessa Borne. Vanessa Borne trying to get revenge on Xia Li for breaking the nose of her best friend, Aaliyah, who also sucks. Let's call it a spade. Vanessa Borne, bad as shit though. She's fucking beautiful. She looks good. Xia Li as well. Both of you lovely ladies are amazing to look at. But this match fucking sucks. What was the point? There really was no point at all. It was stupid. Xia Li got the win. It really wasn't anything to take away from the match till after the match. You know, the best thing that happened about this match happened after the match. So Xia Li is attacked by none other than NXT Women's Champion Shayna Baszler. She comes out with Marina Shafir and Jessamine Duke. They attack Xia Li. She holds them off for a little bit up until, you know, the numbers game gets too much and they take out Xia Li. Shayna Baszler starts talking her shit after the weekend that she just had. You know, they might have lost at TakeOver War Games, but, you know, she was just on Survivor Series, main evented Survivor Series. That's one. 2, beat Raw Women's Champion Becky Lynch. Made SmackDown Women's Champion Bayley tap out. So she's, you know, she's feeling herself right now. But out comes Rhea Ripley letting her know that, yo, you beat them bitches, but you ain't beat me. I got your number. and they're grooming Rhea Ripley to be the one to beat Shayna Baszler for the NXT Women's title. Like, this past weekend, if not for nothing, Rhea Ripley came out of Survivor Series TakeOver weekend looking like a fucking star, you know. And again, everything is organic. First of all, she looks legitimate, like she can beat Shayna Baszler, and it be believable. She has the crowd behind her, fan base, NXT fan base. Even the main roster crowd is starting to see that, you know, she's ultimately a star. Again, all about believability and just letting things happen organic, and everything is happening the right way with Rhea Ripley. So she's definitely coming out of this past weekend a made woman, you know, and down the line she's definitely going to be the one to beat Shayna Baszler for the NXT Women's Championship, and I'm here for it. I'm sure you guys are here for it as well. On to the main event of the night. Tommaso Ciampa versus Finn Balor. Again, this match was like, to me. There was a whole lot of rest holds and from Finn. Again, these guys just had a crazy weekend, especially Tommaso Ciampa, so I really didn't expect them to do too much. There was a couple spots that I liked from Tommaso Ciampa. He'd hit an air raid crash on the outside of the ring onto Finn. I think I like the air raid crash's moves. It was alright. There was also the Project Ciampa spot. I don't understand why that's not his finisher anymore. I love Project Ciampa. I'm not really a big fan of the fairy tale ending because I've seen that move done by or variations of that move done by so many people. But you had your own move, you know. Project Ciampa is fucking classic, and it's innovative, and it's original. But, you know, that's neither here nor there. There was another air raid crash spot from the top rope that Tommaso Ciampa hit Finn Balor with. Ultimately, towards the end of the match, Adam Cole comes out, distracting Tommaso Ciampa. The NXT Championship ends up in the ring. Finn's about to use it. The ref saw him, didn't let him do it, but he had inadvertently hit. They call it the final cut in WWE 2K games. I don't really know the name for it as a real move, like when he does that forearm elbow drop across your face type shit. You know what I'm talking about, man. You know what I'm talking about. So he does that onto the NXT Championship. Inadvertently does it, so the ref really can't do anything about it because it wasn't intentional. You know, Tommaso Ciampa kicks out, but Adam Cole still interferes in the match. Attacks Tommaso Ciampa. Ciampa storms in into a 1916, giving a win to Finn Balor. At the end of this match, it kind of seemed like Finn and Adam Cole might have had some type of alliance going on. You know, it looked like, oh, is he finally joining Undisputed Era? Like, where are we going with this? So as Cole's doing, you know, his Undisputed Era hand sign, Finn Balor hits Adam Cole with a Pele kick, knocks him clean out. Like, alright, just because I stopped that nigga from, just because I stopped this nigga from thinking he was about to go get the NXT Championship, that don't mean that I'm going to allow you to walk around thinking that you're safe. Like, and I love that from Finn, that, you know, he's putting it out there like this is me, like I'm NXT, and I'm gonna need you guys to prove me wrong. And at this point, it looks like we're going to be working towards a triple threat between Adam Cole, Tommaso Ciampa, and Finn Balor. We'll see how that plays out down the line on the next episode of NXT, because I'm sure Adam Cole didn't expect that to happen. But now it's just put out in the air and open for everybody that, you know, Finn Balor is, you know, he's only thinking about himself, as he should be, you know. So with all that being said, this week's episode of NXT, it was alright. I give it like a B+. Again, they didn't need to go out there and do too much trying to kill themselves after the weekend they just had. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. What was your matches of the night, moments of the night, what you like, what you didn't like. You know, I'm here for everything. Just make sure you guys are liking all the videos on the channel and subscribing. Oh, before we go, there's one more new segment on True Hill Heat YouTube channel that I forgot to mention the last time, and I apologize to my True Hill Heat YouTube channel sister, Miss Chrissy Love. Guys, there will be, excuse me, tongue-tied. There will be a new show, or as you already seen, SmackDown with the Lynches. This is where Miss Chrissy Love reviews SmackDown shows with her family. Beautiful, beautiful family, beautiful, beautiful show. We have everything that you guys could want and need on this YouTube, True Hill Heat YouTube channel. We got stuff for the Smarks, stuff for the Marks, stuff for the families, you know. So, as always, I am True Hill Ness. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Ness-XT. And as always, be cool. We will be back next week.